Coffee. Welcome back to my channel. I am back to reality in New Jersey after a great week at the North American Honeybee Expo in Louisville, Kentucky. I missed great weather back here, at least great beekeeping winter weather. I wanted to take a quick 10-12 minute video to talk about what I'm doing today. It's cold. It's windy. It wasn't like this when I was gone. And because I was a bad beekeeper last year, I have some hives that are in trouble. And I'm going to tell you how I know. Not just hefting hives. This is targeted winter feeding, but not with sugar, with fondant. Here's the hook, the danger zone. It's 38 degrees outside. And looking at the 10-day, I checked a little while ago, we're not seeing 50 degrees for a long time. The bees are active enough to be moving around and eating. They're moving. They're too cold to fly. That means they're burning through calories, but they're trapped inside. Old school way of dealing with are they out of food? It's just a panic. You run out there, you crack open every single hive, and you dump pounds of dry sugar or sugar bricks on everyone just in case. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not disturbing a happy colony just to make myself feel better. I'm only targeting the hives that are actually in trouble. I know exactly who they are, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm feeding them, not just sugar. So, welcome back to the farm. I call this the sniper method. It's great, somewhat expensive. It's a good tool that a beekeeper can use to save time and really tons of money in the long run. A, thermal camera. So first, how do I know when to feed the bees without opening up every box? I cheated. I used technology. I just walked my bee yard with a thermal imaging camera. I didn't open a single lid. I didn't break a single propolis seal. I looked at the heat signatures. Now, 80% of my hives, heat signature was deep in the first box. It's perfect. Technically means they're sitting on honey. Above them, they're calm, they're safe, good position to be in mid-January. 4 of them, glowing white hot on the thermal imager, right on the top bars, right at the top box underneath the insulation. That's code red. That means the cluster has eaten their way to the ceiling. I thought their weights were good. I could have messed up. If I don't feed those colonies today, they'll be dead in a week. Maybe. And let me just stop there for a minute. The product that I'm going to talk to you about is a phenomenal product. The bees like it better than honey, I think. So yes, before I do this, I'm going to heft the hives just to double check. But sometimes I've seen them run right past honey stores to get to this product first. So it may not be as bad as I think it is. I'm a paranoid beekeeper. If I don't feed them and they went through their stores and they're at the top of the box, mid-January, they'll be dead in a week. I'm going to say it again. I'm not guessing. I'm performing a surgical strike on at least those 4 hives. So why not dry sugar? A little more biology. We know a little more now. We could use from all these educators and scientists. We can use technology and knowledge to change the way we do things. So let's talk about the menu and why I'm spending a little more money on these Irish imported fondant packs. when I could just use a couple dollar bag of sugar and some newspaper. I used to be a mountain camp or sugar brick guy. I really did. And sometimes, listen, I still am. I have a lot of colonies. I cheat sometimes because I'm cheap. We need to talk about the biology of a winter bee at 38 degrees. You know, moisture is a double edged sword. If you dump dry granulated sugar on a cluster, the bees can't eat it. They can't chew through it. She has to dissolve it first or wait for the humidity in the hive to get to the point where they can at least start taking from it. She needs water, and in the dead of winter, where does she get the water from? Inside the hive. Remember, we're condensing hives, right? Condensation in the hives this year, right? But she can't fly over to the bird bath or the neighbor's pool. And even though she has water, the condensation in that hive, it's risky. She has to use her own metabolic water to melt that sugar. That takes energy, and energy is the only thing she's running out of. It's entirely possible, I've seen it with my own, for a colony to starve to death while sitting on a pile of dry sugar because they were just too dehydrated to process it. I switched to fondant. I switched to Hive Alive Fondant. That's what you got to do as a YouTuber, right? Fingers. It's not just any fondant. I'm using Hive Alive. And I wanted to nerd out for a second on why this stuff is so different. The ingredients list, it actually matters. Most fondant is just boiled sugar, and this stuff is different. It's not cooked with heat or acid. It's made using enzymatic hydrolysis. It uses enzymes instead of heat. That's what I got out of it. I'm not a scientist. This fondant has 0 HMF. That's a toxic byproduct that shortens bees' lifespans. The real reason is I use this because of the secret sauce. It's some sort of seaweed extract. This is a big one. It's a specific blend of Irish seaweed. Why seaweed? How the hell bees never eat seaweed before? Because these guys figured out it's a great prebiotic. Winter bees hold their poop for months. If they don't go on cleansing flights, their guts are under massive stress. They get nosema. They get dysentery. The seaweed extract basically acts like armor for their stomach lining. Number 2, thymol. We use it for mites, but in small doses, like in this fondant, it suppresses nosema spores. And next, lemongrass oil. Now, this makes the feed attractive. When I put this on a hive that's cold and sluggish, that scent wakes them up and triggers the feeding response. That gets me back to, sometimes that smell gets them, I'm pretty sure, to move up through their stores first and get to the top. So check them out. This is the 2-pound. They have larger 5-pound. I think you can get them all in 10 packs. Any beekeeping supply place or Amazon you can get them from. Again, I don't want to say expensive. If this $6 to $8 a pack, I think it's worth it. Okay, enough science. I'll put links below. For Hive Alive. But I have 4 code red hives on my thermal list. I'm prepping exactly 4 packs. So the trick, you cut the logo out. Now I've seen people peel all the plastic off and jam it in there. Don't do that. Don't put it in the entrance. You're just going to attract other things. If you expose everything, the whole block, the airflow, it's going to dry out. It's going to turn into a rock in 3 days. And we want it to stay soft. Now, even in my cold basement right now, it's still very pliable. So you take your razor, you cut out the rectangle, cut the logo out, peel that little piece of plastic back, and that's it. The rest of the bag stays on, and this acts like a little greenhouse for the fondant. It traps the moisture inside, so it stays nice and soft for weeks. They'll finish it before it gets hard. So, the battle plan. I have my target list. I'm going to walk out there. I'm going to pop the lid, only on those 4. I'm going to take this pack, flip it over, place it just the exposed side down, directly on the top of the bars, meat to meat, right on the top cluster. And I put the insulation back on, close the lid, in and out, 20 seconds. I do again use cling film. Uh, you could use painter's tape. You could use HVAC tape. You broke the seal. You want to seal it back up. They're not going to do it this time of year. Before I go, I want to make one thing crystal clear. I'm not telling you to go out and spend $6 to $8 a hive if you don't want to. I don't get anything from any of these companies, but if you've been using dry sugar and newspaper for 20 years and your bees are thriving, keep doing it. If it works for you, don't change a thing. There are 100 ways to keep bees, and the only wrong way is the ones that leaves them dead in April. So for me, I like the data. I think I get healthier bees by using Hive Alive Fondant. I like the probiotics. I know I have monster bees in the spring, partly because of this product, and mostly because of dumb luck. I like knowing that I gave these struggling hives the absolute best shot at seeing the spring. But the goal isn't to buy fancy products. The goal is to keep them alive and well. So if what you have works, you check your weights. Don't leave them to starve. Please, that's one thing I have to say. Just don't leave them to starve. Then what's the point of keeping bees? I'm heading out to drop these on. Final tip, if you've never done this before, if you've never fed bees in winter before, if you just prayed until springtime and then just went out there, they're not going to be happy to see you. I've seen people get stung through suits in the middle of winter because they're warm, they're ready to fly, and they just pop out. When I say, I mean, it's impressive the speed at which they're going to come at you. They're just going to be, crap, it's cold, I'm going to kill them. They'll get you. So don't go out there with just a veil. Like, you got to be in full PPE. There's no reason to be a hero, especially since they're right up top, they're going to be staring right at you. Sometimes, if they're a box or two down, you could open they won't even know you're there. But these girls up top, oh, they're there. They're waiting for you. Again, don't be a hero. No. Keep them fed. Keep them warm. Keep them dry. And I'll see you next time. Give me a thumbs up. Like my video.